Everyone loves a good sitcom. Whether it's an unusual or dysfunctional family, a group of friends just hanging out, or a workplace full of unique characters, sitcoms or situational comedies have been a staple of American pop culture since the invention of television. The blend of lighthearted comedy and teaching moments, all wrapped up into a happy 20-minute chapters, lulls us into a sense of comfort about the good that exists in the world. Between scenes of friendly banter and hilarious misunderstandings, we learn all the essential life lessons to keep in our toolbox. But what happens when more complex moral issues must be discussed? Sitcoms have been so limited by their genre's need to reflect real life, to entertain, and to teach a certain audience a certain lesson in a half hour or less, that in-depth studies of complicated ethical theories have been entirely out of reach. In a time with more moral uncertainty than ever, how can TV get Americans to think about solutions?
Eleanor, come on in. Hi, Eleanor. I'm Michael. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Oh, one question. Where am I? Who are you and what's going on?
Right. So, you, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead. Your life on Earth has ended, and you are now in the next phase of your existence in the universe.
Cool.
What better way to explore ethical theories than in the literal afterlife? In September 2016, creator Michael Schur released unto the world a new kind of sitcom, The Good Place, which follows four very different characters as they adjust to their new lives in the heavenly good place, where only the best human beings go after they die. Though the premise sounds pretty grim and potentially sacrilegious, the whole pilot episode protects its humor with clever jokes about the afterlife, who makes it into the so-called good place, and how that is decided.
Is this... Or...
Well, it's not the heaven or hell idea that you were raised on. But generally speaking, in the afterlife, there's a good place and there's a bad place. You're in the good place.
Rather than force the audience to accept what the architects of the afterlife define as good place-worthy behavior, Schur introduces four characters to challenge the premise. The first character to challenge the premise of the good place is Eleanor Shellstrop, self-proclaimed Arizona trash who reveals midway into the pilot episode that she was brought to the good place by mistake.
There's been a big mistake. I'm not supposed to be here.
Wait, what?
She is joined by moral philosophy professor Chidi Anagonye, wealthy philanthropist Hani Al-Jamil, and Buddhist monk Jian Yu, who is later revealed to be electronic dance music DJ Jason Mendoza, also mistakenly admitted to the good place. Each of these characters embody a unique philosophical perspective about good and bad behavior, mostly unexplored by previous sitcom characters. Though each character is mostly categorizable as good or bad, the show does a good job at analyzing whether we can rely on our preconceived notions. Even better, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the show is willing to completely demolish the laid-out rules of the good place to challenge these notions, calling into question the good or bad nature of each character. Eleanor represents selfishness and apathy, and each of those traits led to her demise. Jason is characterized by his ignorance and general lack of consideration of the world around him. Though his intentions are often sweet and not at all malicious, he lacks the thoughtfulness necessary to be good.
I have no idea what's going on right now, but everyone else is talking and I think I should too.
Having raised large sums of money to aid the disadvantaged people of the world, Tahani's spot in the good place would seem unquestionable to most viewers. However, her motives were self-centered, so the value of her behavior was tarnished. Though Chidi seems completely rational, empathetic, and well-intentioned, his indecisiveness in acting ultimately taints his ranking in the afterlife.
Michael, what did you do?
I made the trolley problem real so we could see how the ethics would actually play out. There are 5 workers on this track and 1 over there. Here are the levers to switch the tracks. Make a choice.
The thing is, ethically speaking...
No time, dude! Make a decision!
Well, it's tricky. On the one hand, if you ascribe to a purely utilitarian worldview...
Okay, so, what did we learn?
As you can see in The Good Place, the question of what makes a person truly good is asked in such an engaging way. Not only does it go above and beyond in teaching and entertaining, it does so in a way that is relatable and accessible to people of many backgrounds. Other highly ranked sitcoms in the past have relied fairly heavily on racial and gendered stereotypes to construct humor. Some minority characters seem to be present simply for jokes being made at their expense.
The only way she'll be happy is if I'm some Asian stereotype, but that just isn't me.
I didn't see those.
And often the people making those racist or sexist jokes face little to no punishment.
I see the confusion here. No, Alex thought I was singling her out. No, I meant that all women are slaves to their biological urges, you know? Yeah, even you.
You can only make fun of things that they have control over. Like Oscar is gay. That is his choice. We can make fun of that. I did not choose to fall into a koi pond.
Myra, you still can't make fun of people for race or gender or sexual orientation or religion.
Who let the lemon head into the room? You are a waste of life, and you should give up.
We shouldn't be praising television shows for doing the bare minimum diversity-wise, but the way The Good Place allows characters of so many different national, racial, economic, and gendered identities to interact in a way that doesn't focus solely on those identities is a refreshing welcome to all audience members. Because the show reaches such a broad range of people and discusses such complex moral issues in such an engaging way, The Good Place is currently becoming a tool of real social change. It encourages its 3 million plus viewers to question their own moral attitudes and their judgment of others, and realize that there's more gray space between good and bad than they originally thought. When watching the show, you're bound to have a few moments of existential crisis when you're completely unsure about what you believe. You will also be comforted by the show's bold optimism about humanity. So welcome to The Good Place. Everything is fine.